Hey lovies, welcome or welcome back to my channel, Xtremetarot, where we do moon readings and zodiac readings. Today we're doing a zodiac reading for the sign of Libra. We're looking into what your person would most want to convey or say or articulate to you right now. What do they most want you to know? I have some cards here already to sort of lay out their general energy towards you. So I'm going to read those first and see if they resonate, because if they don't, most likely the messages won't resonate either. But you can feel free to check my Libra playlist, and maybe if a title jumps out at you, you can find a reading that's more in sync with your current timeline and energy, because all of my readings are timeless unless otherwise stated. And I have these cards here again just to represent sort of the situation, like the objective situation from Spirit, and this is your person's overall vibe towards you. I also shuffled a song for you, and it was Stay, I Missed You by Lisa Loeb. And taking a look at these cards and the context of that song, I feel like you and your person could be fighting, having a lot of fights and making up. I feel like your person might be kind of angry at you, or could be almost picking fights with you somehow. Okay, so I'm going to start with this. We have these cards here. Let me just get up. Okay. We have Wreath, Sorrow Over a Loss. Oh, Leo. We have Goldfish, Increase in Material Wealth or Spiritual Growth. Why he's barking over there. And then we have this Shark, Take Care or There Will Be a Loss of Material Wealth. Okay, so I feel like, okay, this is just, I'm going to show you what I'm seeing here, because the way I pulled the cards, like they came out like this. This is why I was getting the fighting, first of all. I feel like maybe your person is like almost jealous of your success. I feel like increase in material wealth or spiritual growth. Okay, I feel like you maybe got some new opportunity that is ostensibly like a happy thing. Goldfish speaks of abundance. This is talking about material wealth, new experiences with the spiritual growth. For instance, it could be something really good and exciting, like you got a new job or something. You're starting like an exciting new phase of your life here. It could be even something that might not be construed as a good thing, like going to rehab or something, but it's like you're doing it to better your life. Like there's something like that where I feel as though you're growing and expanding in your life. You could be going away to, I'm trying to think, like some sort of spiritual retreat. Like, I don't know, like just something that you're trying to like open yourself up to some new experience, or open yourself up to some new job, or maybe you got a job offer, but you had to move away. Like I'm getting a vibe like that where like this person is seeing this as a loss. And it's something that almost should be, it's like a new experience that you're stepping into here that should be like really fun and exciting and things like that. But it's like this person's energy here with the shark is sort of blocking this from flowing. Like you think about a goldfish, it's going to be like flowing, swimming through the water. It's like trying to swim, but here comes this shark like, grrr, like not so fast, Missy or Mr. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm getting a vibe like that. So again, if that's not resonating, like I feel like this reading is going to be one of those like super specific readings. So if that doesn't resonate, by all means. But like that's like what I'm seeing here. Even like the song that we got, like you say, I only hear what I want to. Like it's almost like miscommunication. Something in this card was talking about miscommunication too. And I feel like, do you see how this says imaginative? We have the forgiveness energy here. One person is made of ice and one person looks very like warm and earthy. I feel like there's somebody here that's just like unrelenting, and it's just, there's no compromise here. I feel like maybe you're the one that's being forced to compromise and make concessions in this situation. And it may not even be that you're doing anything wrong. Like this is as imaginative. That's making me think that your person might be picking fights with you, like based on their own insecurities, especially with this Midas miser energy. And look at this loner energy. I feel like they're making you feel bad for like your good fortune or something like that, especially like the money. We have a lot of like money imagery, so I feel like this could be related to a new job. The lay attribute of this card entrepreneurial or creative ability to turn anything to gold, delight in sharing life's riches. It's almost like, even if you did get this new job, it's like you're calling your person at the end of the day, oh my God, guess what happened today at work? Like, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's so exciting. Like, I got my new office. Like, it's almost like that. And then maybe like this person, like this shark energy comes in. Again, like look at like the imagery on this guy's face and the shark. I don't know. I'm kind of getting like, this is you talking about your day or your new job or whatever it is. I'm just going to run with that example here. And then it's like your person just is like raining on your parade. They're like bursting your bubble. Well, blah, blah, blah. Like, and what about all your male coworkers, or what about like blah blah blah? Like, it's almost like they're maybe jealous or something like that. Like they're like, well, that even if they're not, and they're not saying it like that, that might just be where it's coming from. But even if they're not jealous, they might be like, oh, well, that's great because I just was like sitting at home today, like, you know, thinking about you and blah, blah, blah. Like, especially if you guys used to like work together or something, like, and you say you got a new job and like you left the job where like they're still currently at, and they're just like salty that, maybe not salty. Like, I don't think they're like jealous, but I think if they're jealous of other people getting to be around your energy. But anyway, the shadow, hoarding money and emotions, obsessive fear of losing your wealth. They see you as like valuable, but in a way they also see you as a possession. I'm getting like they're obsessive fear of losing your wealth. They're seeing you as like a bag of gold, which is nice. I mean, they see your value, but they're also like looking at you in a very possessive way. I'm getting a very possessive energy here. There's a lot about take care or there will be a loss of material wealth. It's like your person's like, I better like lay down the law here, or I'm gonna lose my material wealth. There's two things talking. Fear of losing your wealth. That's so, I didn't even notice that till just now. That's kind of crazy. So it's like, I think you should keep that in mind. Like, I feel like too, with the loner and the reserved energy, like you're maybe holding yourself back in some way from this new experience. You're sort of not really enjoying it as much as you should, or like you're, okay, you know what this is reminding me of? And I'm just going to use a personal example, and I'm so sorry if it's annoying. Feel free to fast forward. But, okay, like when I was like, this is like 10 years ago, I had to go to rehab. But I had to go to rehab, like nothing wrong with that. I think I used that in the example here, like one of the examples I was talking about, because it was reminding me of that from the beginning. But I had a boyfriend at the time. I had to move from New York to Florida. So it was like across the whole country. I had to take a train. And I wasn't allowed to make calls the first like 3 to 5 days I was there, I forget. But when I finally was like allowed to make the call, I had to do it in front of my therapist. Like I did it in her office or whatever. And like I call this guy that I'm dating as my boyfriend, and we were engaged. He was my fiance at the time. But I call this guy. I'm like, hey, like, you know, like I'm here, like just want to tell you, like, you know, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, well, I just want to tell you like what's been going on here, like blah, 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 blah. Just starts like giving me all these stressful things going on in his life and all this stuff. And I'm just like, oh my God, like I had no idea, like, I'm so sorry, like, babe, like, what can I do? Like, I blah, blah, blah. Like, immediately I went into, like, you know, rescuer mode, kind of, you know, and whatever, like, whatever the conversation went on like that, you know, like, where I was trying to, like, kind of, like, calm him down or whatever it was, and then we hung up, and I was like, oh, you know, thank you, like, to my therapist, and she was like, can I just tell you something that I just, like, observed while you guys were on the phone? And I was like, yeah, of course, like, what's up? And she's like, you just moved across the country. Like you're in like this entirely new environment with all these different people, like having this crazy experience. Like, you know what I mean? She's like, you have like 3 new roommates, like that you've never met, like whatever it was. Like I just, you know, like was in a completely like just planted in a new world, like out of nowhere, like, you know? And she's like, this is a very like, you know, not traumatic experience, but it's like a daunting kind of experience. Like it's not easy. Like it's a little bit scary. Like it's this and that. You're trying to better your life right now. Like, and she's like, why is this person, like, why are you being forced to comfort this person when you're the one that's like had your whole life uprooted and like blah, 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 like whatever, just like whatever was going on. And I'm sitting there, she's asking me that, and I'm just like, you know, that's a good point. Like, I don't know. Like, I never thought about it that way, but like, oh my, you're right. And like, anyway, I ended up, obviously she was my therapist. I ended up breaking up with him. I'm not saying that you should do that, but I'm just saying like, I feel like there's a similar vibe going on here where you're the one that's like sort of entering a new phase of your life, a new experience. And it's like, you're spending a lot of time. I was going to talk about it with this card, with the happy. you're wasting a lot of energy, like making sure this person's happy. Like I always notice on this card how it says happy twice. So it's like the other person's happiness is like probably your main priority at this point, I would say. And they probably make you happy and you love them. So like, I get it, but it's like you're almost holding yourself back, or maybe holding back your true opinions or something like that. But with the loner and the reserved, I feel like you're not really embracing this new experience in a way that you might, had this person not be making you feel maybe bad or guilty or something like that. And I don't think that you mind doing this for this person. We also have practice compassion here. So I feel like you're very compassionate. You're thinking about how you would feel if you were them and what you would want them to do and things like that. Or you're just like understanding like, oh, I know they're like, you know, they have low self-esteem, if you do know that about them, because that's what I'm getting from this. But I want to read you something out of one of these books. Sorry, so turn around and get the book. But this koala spirit has a plan. Koala spirit. Okay, are you feeling uneasy and mistrustful of the world? Have you been hiding in a safe spot, afraid to venture out because you're convinced that life and other people will disappoint you? Koala spirit has appeared to let you know that your faith is misplaced. The present safety you seek is already passing away, because all things are temporary and outer conditions are always changing. Find your safety by placing your faith and trust in spirit, who will grow the abundance that is already yours. Perhaps you are acting... I thought I said actively, sorry, so I said it like that. Perhaps you are acting slowly and overly cautiously because you lack faith that there is more for you out there than what you know. You may have boxed yourself into a safe place that has nothing else to give you and become so familiar with it that you have forgotten to explore. Are you feeling pessimistic and convinced that there is nothing more out there for you? Koala spirit reminds you that self-care is meant to replenish you so that you can venture out again in faith, trusting that there is no limit to the joy spirit wants you to experience. Be good to yourself and reconnect with spirit to reclaim your faith in things yet unseen. So, okay, like I'm going to just continue on through reading now, but I really want to say that if this person that you're dealing with is, look, I feel you pushing me away. So I feel like, I don't know, something like that is kind of going on here. But if this person is like making you feel bad for wanting to experience life, as you should, as we all should, like, I mean, at the very least, I don't want you to feel bad about yourself, like at the very least, you know, we all get to decide how we want to live our lives. If we want to like reject a new experience in order to like, how do you say that word? ASSUAGE, to soothe someone's I don't know, like worries. Like I get it, but, and that's your choice, of course, but Spirit's like, well, why don't you maybe try to like, if you've been having all this forgiveness for this person or all this understanding towards this person, at least make sure that they have that for you. If you've been having all this trust, make sure that they trust you, you know, stuff like that. But I feel like there is a lot of miscommunication going on here, or like one-sided communication. There needs to be more balance and more give and take. There needs to be more listening on both ends, on your person's end too. And okay, let's just get their messages to you. What would this person most want to say? What would Libra's person most want to say to Libra? Please don't take it personal that my guard is up. It's the only way I know how to be. Okay. I always imagine the life we could have together, and maybe again with the imagine. You're such a good kisser. You know what? That's too many. That's like 4. Let's just take like 1 or 2 at a time. Sorry. What would Libra's person most want to say? You're so witty. You hit people with some zingers. There's Kundalini energy stirring within me. Oop. I can't wait to make this all up to you one day. I'm scared to 100% give in to these feelings. I feel like your person is very scared that you don't want to be with them anymore, something like that. That's too many. Sorry, that was 3. What is Libra's person most want to convey to them? Oh my God. Look, I feel so weak, but I really think that's true. What would Libra's person most want to say to Libra? I'm so scared to face you. I feel like it's more like I'm so scared to lose you. You're not afraid to look silly. And it says, I feel your energy so strongly. And okay. So I'm going to just grab my tarot deck and we're going to clarify all of these. So please don't take it personal that my guard is up. It's the only way I know how to be. I feel like your person is very set in their ways. And I think like on some level, it's like, it's not that they don't trust you. And I think they want you to know that they genuinely care about you. But like maybe they're so used to, look, the Empress, oh my God, like they think you're it. Like you have more power than you realize. Okay. Like, I don't even know if this is your person coming through or spirit to come through to be like, yo, like, I feel like maybe you've been acting out of fear of losing this person. But like, they're like afraid to lose you. And if you kind of like lay down the law here, I don't think that they're gonna like break up with you. I feel like they could be almost like threatening that. Maybe that's what's happening, where they're threatening. Ooh, what do we have here? The King of Wands. I feel like they might even be threatening to leave you or something like that. But like, you hold a lot more power than you realize in this situation. I'm just gonna maybe get, I always imagine the life we could have together with the King of Wands. It's with the King of Wands, I'm almost getting, we just got the Two of Swords in reverse. With the King of Wands, and I always imagine the life we could have together, I'm getting that they're almost, it's like they feel like they do have to take a firm hand in this case, because they have to, oh yeah, this was strengths on the bottom of the deck. I just realized I was going to say they have to show like fortitude or some sort of caricature of like a male energy, of like a strong male figure, like almost like old fashioned, like, all right, like that's not a thing nowadays, buddy. But it's almost like they have to make a strong showing of like, so almost like they are trying to scare you a little bit. Like, yeah, like the shark energy, like they have to take a firm stance. Like they have to show you that they're not playing, like, and like not break character in order. So that way you don't end up like, I don't know, seeking out somebody like stronger than them. Like maybe there's somebody that has sort of like old-fashioned values about like the way men should be, if this is a man, but it's almost like they think, I don't even want to say that they're consciously doing this, because I feel like this could just be a dynamic, because yeah, the Two of Wands in reverse, it's making me think that this isn't a decision that they've made, and there's Kundalini energy stirring within me. I'm just like interpreting these like the way I'm interpreting them, I'm sorry, but that's making me think of like very like passionate, like fiery energy, like rising up in them, like jealousy. And it's so interesting because I just started reading Midnight Sun, the Edward's version of Events of Twilight, basically. And it's funny because he's like never been in, if you don't have never read those books, he's never like been in love with anybody before. So when he starts feeling jealous of that guy Mike Newton and Bella, he doesn't understand what the emotion is. He's like almost like offended that like he cares what this guy is doing, because he just like thinks so like little of him anyway. Like, but anyway, it's just funny because I just was reading that part where he like is like, what is this emotion? So I feel like it is like just like a very jealous feeling, or possessive. Like I was saying, they're very possessive of you. And that is like kind of like a old-fashioned male perspective here. And I mean, if you're okay with that, like that's your thing here. And if you're okay to sort of like hang back and let them call the shots, okay. But I feel like I was saying, I don't think this is a decision that they're like, okay, I'm going to control this person, and they have those intentions. This is either like a way of being that was instilled in them by their own parents and upbringing and things like that, or this is like just brought on by their what am I trying to say? Like their intense fiery emotions coming up, and they just feel like they have this gut reaction to like kind of keep you in their possession. So they're doing it by force, like in an exaggerated male way, instead of maybe just talking to you and explaining how they feel, and, you know, being like, okay, like I have these insecurities. Like they don't want you to know that they're insecure. But you know what I find interesting is that like these two across the board from each other, we have the Empress and then we have the King of Wands. Like the King of Wands is a king, but like the Empress is like all the queens rolled into one, just as the Emperor is all the kings rolled into one. It's like you're still like 1/4 of like this Empress. Like I'm telling you, if you were watching, you have a lot more power than you realize. You really do. And I feel like if you lay down your own law, because this person's so afraid to lose you. It's, I don't know how, like, what exactly would play out, but I don't think that they would just, like, leave you. I feel like they want you to think that, though. But like I was saying, I think this is just a dynamic that just they fell into because maybe they have a little bit more of a forceful personality and you have, like, a more, like, well, Libran personality, a more Venus personality. And look, that is what you're coming through as. Like, the Empress is ruled by Venus, Libra and Taurus. So it's like that, you know, social, smooth, like, I just want to make you feel better, a nurturing energy. Like, it's like a classic feminine energy. Your person's coming through in a masculine energy, but in a distorted masculine energy. And I feel like you're, like, going a little bit too above and beyond to try to, like, placate their emotions. And that's not your job. That's not your job. Like, almost like you want to mediate. Look, I see this underneath. Hero, heroine, the mediator. You really want to make your person feel better. But I am seeing that, like, there is this sort of, like, obstacle in between you. And you're not seeing eye to eye. You're not seeing each other at all. You're just, I think you're very scared to lose them too. There's a lot about fear here. Like, fear is running the show here. Fear is why your person is, like, kind of acting in this distorted masculine energy. And I'm sorry, I think fear is a reason maybe why you're afraid to sort of speak up for yourself and tell your person, like, hey, like, if you don't trust me, like, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? It's something like that where I feel like you keep feeling like you need to prove your trust to this person. You're so witty. You hit people with some zingers. I feel like your person maybe is hurt by some of the things that you've said. Oh my God. I feel like they're a lot more sensitive or something than you realize. I almost want to clarify that with one of these. I'm just going to see, what does that mean? With the Three of Wands, older man, dealings or relationship with an older man. Let me get one more. What does that mean? Finger, warning, you have a problem either now or in the near future. So, okay. Again, with that older man, I'm getting that same sort of a vibe here where it's almost like they know that you're smart and you're like, I don't know, like, I don't want to say a good conversationalist, but almost like you have valid points. Like, you're not like stupid. Like, they can't, like, easily manipulate you. So it's almost like that's why they have to take this really firm stance and sort of, like, play on your emotions a little bit. I feel like you could have another big fight coming up, to be honest. That's what I was getting from that finger pointing thing. So I feel like Spirit's like, oh, in the future with the Three of Wands. Yeah. I feel like Spirit's providing you with an opportunity of, like, listen, like, you are a witty person and you, like, witty isn't really the right word, but, like, you should have no problem getting your point across to this person. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like there's an opportunity for you to maybe, what was that other card with the finger? What did it say? Oh, I just lost it. I just put it back in here. Oh, wait. Warning, you have a problem either now or in the near future. I just want to get one more for this. I'm sorry. And we have dogs getting together with friends. Okay, so maybe they're jealous of, like, the people around you or something like that. And maybe that's what could be happening next. You're going to be like, you know what? Like, I'm doing whatever you don't want me to do here in this situation, whatever it is. I'm getting together with my friends, okay? We're going to go see a dog show, like, whatever. And this person's maybe going to, again, like, double down on, like, the power games or whatever is going on here. And, like, with the pointing the finger, maybe tell you, like, oh, you don't care about me, and pointing the finger at you. I don't know. I feel like there could be something like that coming up. So maybe Spirit's like, this could be an opportunity to, like, stand up for yourself, but only if you want to. Like, you know what I mean? If you're sick of this. If you're kind of like, I see where they're coming from, though, and it's really not that bad. Because a lot of times tarot's on a gradient. So, like, I'm reading, like, how, like, the most extreme example, like, that I'm seeing here. But maybe it's just not that bad, and you guys are just having some little spats. In that case, like, that's fine. Like, you know what I mean? Do what you have to do. But if it's really getting to the point where they're, like, trying to, like, block you from experiencing happiness, and all you're doing is working overtime to make sure that they're okay and happy, like, that's not balance. You know, there's got to be some middle ground and compromise. I can't wait to make this all up to you one day. Maybe your person does feel guilt on some level for making you, like, miss out and stuff. But what is this energy coming through? What does Libra's person mean by that? We have the Knight of Cups. I mean, I feel like they can't wait to see you, or, like, if there is, like, physical distance with the Ace of Pentacles, I feel like they maybe, like, want to give you a gift. I feel like they want I feel like at the end of the day, they're still scared you're going to leave them, and they maybe while you're not around, they have to do what they have to do to like just ease their own worries and make sure that, you know, you're like kind of scared. They're trying to keep you scared or whatever. But it's like maybe when you are with them, it's like they want to treat you like a queen or like an empress or like a king, whatever it is, and just like you know, when they're with you, I think they really do appreciate you. I think this person genuinely does care about you. It's just that their fear and their old-fashioned values are not making a very attractive combination here. I have to say, I'm scared to 100% give into these feelings. 5 of Cups. And the 6 of Cups and the 7 of Cups. I feel like they think... Okay, so the 5 of Cups and then going to the 6 of Cups. I'm scared to 100% give into these feelings. I feel like at the beginning of your connection, I feel like they were maybe surprised and shocked that you even liked them or something like that. I feel like they, like I was saying, they could be almost like considered less than you by society. I'm not saying you consider them that way, but like an objective person might be like, oh, you are 2 different things. One's a goldfish, one's a shark. Like, you know, you just come from 2 different backgrounds or something like that. 2 different class systems. Like they're financially a lot lower than you or something, or like maybe they're not considered handsome and you are very beautiful, like, or smart, or like maybe they're like super overweight and you're like very like, you have like a perfect body and you're like, whatever, like I'm good looking enough for the both of us. Like there's some discrepancy between you that society is seeing that I don't think you are, and that your person is seeing. I don't think you're seeing it, but they're seeing it, and like it bothers them. And like right from the beginning, I feel like they seemed very like surprised almost that you like chose them, and I think they were also very happy and comforted and things like that. But now with the 7 of Cups here, it's weird, we're going 5, 6, 7. It's like they're scared that you're gonna like realize that you have options. It's like they realize they've always seen how special you are and things like that, but I don't know, it's like they're afraid that you're gonna like notice it and just like end up leaving them behind and like go after some sort of other option, I'm getting. And that's why they're so afraid of maybe giving in and trying to compromise with you, or just like they can't like let this be because like their fear is so palpable to them and so scary. I'm so scared to face you. We have the 7 of Cups again. It's like they really are scared, the 2 of Cups on the bottom, that someone else is going to come along and steal away like they're the love of their life or something. That's how they feel. I saw the Fool on the bottom of the deck. I feel like also they might care a lot what other people think. Other people in the community, they're really like afraid. I feel like they're really missing the good old days, like whenever, like if you guys worked together or whatever happened before you moved away or before you got this new job, and like they were more sure of their place in your life, things were more equal, like there was more emotion, like harmony in the relationship. Like whatever this is happening now, like whatever success you've had, your person is really like afraid you're like moving on beyond them. And I feel like you're sensing that too, and it's like you almost like feel bad about your success. It's almost like you're sabotaging yourself. I feel like you're maybe not putting your heart into your new job, or you're not like connecting with your coworkers, or it's like you almost just like want it to be a failure, so because you want this person to not feel bad about themselves. But like please realize like they need to like build themselves up. You know what I mean? Like this isn't on you to like make them feel better about themselves. Like you see them already in such a high light. Like I could tell that like you're going out of your way to like make this person's happy, putting your own needs to the side to like put your person's needs above yours. And that's beautiful. Like you love them, and they're very lucky that they have that. And that's all that you need to know, and they need to know. If they don't trust you, they need to work on how to like trust people again. That's not on you. If they feel bad about themselves because there is, like I said, some sort of discrepancy here, they need to work on their self-esteem. You can't do that for them. No amount of anything that you do is going to do that for them. I feel like that's what Spirit really wants you to know, because the more that you do, the more they're almost gonna like get off on it. It's almost like sometimes when people play the victim, and again, it's like I was saying, it's a dynamic that you just naturally fall into. You don't necessarily go into it with the intention of doing that, but it's like, you know, when you're in a relationship and say if someone cheats on you, and then like you you find out and you talk to them about it, and you're like, and you decide to like work on it together and try to like heal the relationship, and you're like, it really hurt me. It comes up like the week later, you're like, it really hurt me when this happened, and like when I found out, or whatever and they're like, oh, like with the Knight of Cups energy, they're like going all out, like getting you presents or just trying to show you. They're like, no baby, like I love you so much, I would never do it again, blah 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 blah. Like at first it's like that, and it almost makes you feel so good to have them reassure you that like you keep bringing it up, and so they'll keep comforting you, but then they start to get annoyed, and then it's like you're just seeing, you're the victim, like, you know what I mean, like you're playing the victim. But it's like you didn't start out, like you started out genuinely just like trying to talk or express your feelings, and it's almost like Munchausen syndrome when you're like little, and they say if you're like really sick or something and people like take care of you, oh, like they're sick, like, and then you like fake illnesses when you get older because it's like you miss that comfort in your life. It's like a coping mechanism in a way. It's something that just makes you feel better emotionally. It's something to be embarrassed about. I feel like your person kind of got into a habit like that where you started reassuring them, and they're just like eating it up. They're feeding on it in a way. So it's like almost like needs to be cut off, or it's going to get worse. Like I feel like not the relationship, just this dynamic between you. Because I feel like when you are together, it's not maybe like this. It's not that bad. So I don't know, but I feel like there is some stuff that needs to, like, some conversations that need to be had here, like some words, some talks about the connection, like that need to happen here, because this isn't a good way to go on. Wait, all right, let's see what else we can get. What's coming up? Axe, forces working against you. Okay, I feel like there is a fight coming up, like I'm not gonna lie. Funnel, period of frustration, lessons to be learned. Okay. Box, you will receive a gift. I feel like this person, if they do end up seeing you, they are gonna give you a gift or something. Heart, love, deep affection and caring. I feel like it has to get worse before it gets better is the vibe that I'm getting. So if things seem tough coming up, just hang on. And a good rule of thumb is just to do what feels authentically true to you, not out of fear of losing this person. And that you might be like, well, that's what I authentically feel. But okay, but like, do you like not being trusted, like, and being suspicious of and things like that, like having suspicions and accusations thrown at you? Like, no, like, and do you deserve that? Are you doing anything bad? No. So, well, maybe, but that's not the vibe I'm getting here. I'm getting a vibe of like reserved, staying in, not wanting, even sacrificing your own happiness, like, so this person could be happy. So, and a very compassionate energy I'm getting from you. So don't let this person make you feel like you're doing something wrong, because you're not, okay? If you take anything away from this reading, take that away. All right, guys, have a good day or night wherever you are. I hope you do. If you like this reading, please like, comment, or subscribe to my channel. Otherwise, I'll catch you in the next one, okay?